Hello and welcome back to Shapes 2. Today's episode we're going to work on Milestone 7, which is this shape here. These look like ordinary shapes, but if you click on them and expand them, you can see there are actually pins underneath them. So it's a new concept we need to work on. Take a look at the final shape here. You can actually have pins on top of pins. So pretty cool. We will get to work on that in a second, but first we have some upgrade points available to us. We have 185 points that we can spend. We could upgrade our belt speed, which I really want to do, but I'm actually going to go with this train vortex delivery. I think this will simplify delivering trains to the vortex. We can just launch a train right into the vortex instead of dropping it off and delivering it by belt. So let's do that one, and let's do this fluid wagon train so that way we can transport paint by train. Right now I've been dragging space pipes all over the map and it's been quite ridiculous. So it's not like that. We can go 100 points left. I'm going to save up for this, I think, next. This would be 150, 180, or we could increase train speed and capacity, but we'll see if those become an issue. The other thing we unlocked at some point, I don't know when, but we unlocked this operator level. We can deliver previous milestone shapes and it gives us rewards and increases our operator level. So it looks like we've been delivering this one for a while now. So we can claim that. That gives us some extra platforms, some extra points. We still have that one. Yeah, so I've been delivering it quite a while. Wow. Like a long time, apparently. So level 11. So there you go. That is level 11. We got a whole bunch of research points for that. The other thing I want to do is I was working on tasks in between episode and it just got to be a real spaghetti mess. This is downright ridiculous. I can't even tell what's going on and I built it. So we're going to straighten this stuff out first. I think the easiest way to do that is just to delete all of it. We will start over. It's not too hard to build, so it'll be too hard to clean this up. And we don't need these shapes anymore anyway. So let's just delete it. Previously we've been delivering shapes via belt to the vortex here, but now that we have this launcher we can see if we can put one down here. Let's launch it from, I don't know, how far can we launch it from? Here looks good. So that'll launch it into the thing. It launches right into the vortex there. Then it comes right back out the thing, so there you go. Just work with some new stuff here. We have 3 lines coming into the vortex here. This is just train lines jumping in. So I left the bottom down here. This is delivering a milestone shape, so we'll just leave that go for now. But so the next shape is this. We need a square, we need half a square, half a circle, and half a star. So we have half a circle here, half a square here, half a square here, half a star here, so let's use these 2 shapes. But for the first one we actually have a full square being delivered, and then the rest of it is not. So I'm just going to come over to here. We have a full square here and blue here, so let's just set this up. Let's use our blueprints real quick to grab some of this paint and shapes. This is the shape miner. Stick it on sideways here. We need the paint miner, or the fluid miner. Stick that there. That gives us squares and paint. Let's just grab it right there. Let's grab some paint. Grab the shape. That'll give us blue squares. Let's put this down here and then let's figure out the pin pushers. Alright, so we have a new menu item here, the pin pusher. Let's just put some down and see what it looks like. Looks like we need 3 of them for a full belt. So let's grab a belt in here. Something like that. And this will be out. We can take a look at it like this and confirm that there are 4 pins underneath it. Copy this. something like this. Copy this up to the second floor. Try delivering this with our new train vortex delivery. Grab a space belt. Just do one for now. See if it keeps up. We're waiting for that to be delivered to the hub. Let's go ahead and look at the next half green circle here. Zoom back out. This is where we're going to do it over here. So let's grab half circles from here, half squares from here, and the half stars, and bring them into this space here. And put down a half destroyer so that we can, let's see, half destroyer. This one here. Looks like we need to rotate this, so let's go ahead and throw down a rotating square. That gives us the half circle there. So we've got green paint right here, so we might as well just paint this here. I was going to try to do everything by train, but it doesn't make sense to transport green paint all the way up there. We can follow this train real quick and see if it delivers shapes to the hub. Jumps right in. I guess it was empty. Looks like it's still empty. We gotta wait for this to fill up. But in the meantime, we can work on this next shape here. This actually needs pins on it. So let's grab our pin pusher here. Let's go ahead and make a blueprint out of that. Pin pusher, we'll call it. Cut this out. Drag it down one. And we can throw our pin pusher in here. Alright, now we can work on this blue shape. Alright, so we've extracted the shape. We need both sides of it. So let's put down a cutter. I've cut half both sides. This takes 8 in, puts 16 out, so we will take a look at it here. We can zoom in here. It's coming in here. Looks like we need to rotate this shape. So basically it's going to come in here, get split. We have to fix these rotators so that it rotates in the same way. And then it puts half of them out here and takes this belt and puts half of them out here. So this actually ends up being, takes 4 full belts in and makes 8 full belts out. And it is 2 layers. So it does actually 16 belts out. And let's go up a floor. Okay, come down here and see that looks like it. So this blueprint here was actually only meant to cut up identical shapes and give you, like take a full square and give you 2 half squares out. So it doesn't quite work with this because it creates 2 different shapes here. So we will have to, I'll play around with this for a minute and see if I can somehow divide these up between first level and second level. But it's going to be hard because they're stacked right on top of each other. You can see here, this is right on top of each other. This is not going to be an easy fix. It's stacked on top of each other too tight. So I will mess around with that later. Let's just go ahead and delete this. We have plenty of shapes here. So we can just copy this. And that should give us the both shapes that we need. This is squares and this is stars. So let's see if we can pin push it and then paint it. I think that should work. Let's see, we want the pin pusher. That's right there. And we can grab a painter. All we should really have to do next is put down a stacker. And grab the pins here and the pinned piece and move it on its way. We need a belt, not a pipe. So that looks good. A train station. And we can just connect this up to the main line here. Next up we need this shape here. This is just a double pin. So I think we should just be able to cut this out, move it down one, copy this, gotta fix the train track. So once these shapes are delivered, we can just break this train line here and it'll deliver the blue pieces to here, and we can assemble the rest of it and send it on its way. So it'll be nice and easy. We can look at the tasks in the meantime while we're waiting for those to complete. I guess let's just pin the next three. This looks like it's, what is this? There's pins underneath it. And paint it green. And I'm guessing this is just pins with pins. So here's our hub. We have circles right here. We're gonna need green after that, I believe. Yeah, green, so green's right here, so we can just assemble this stuff right here. So this one should be pretty straightforward. Let's just grab a extractor. We can grab a pin pusher. Grab a space belt. I can really just delete this because we just need one train. Grab this. And that'll get those delivered to the vortex. So the next shape is this one here. This is similar to the blue one we were doing at the hub right here. We can just change this to red paint, which we happen to have right here. It's kind of on top of the train track, but I think we can squeeze one in. So next shape is this star with pins. So I think the star full shape is over here. There's a circle here which we'll need next. So basically the same thing. We can just do exactly what we just did. The final shape for Milestone 7 is right here. We basically have it made already, I think. Like this shape here is, cut this train track here. We need a stacker in here. We can actually delete this as well. An unloading station. Need a train stop here. We can deliver that track here. That'll deliver that shape to here. And then this is a little tight, but we can grab it out here. Alright, so I was able to squeeze a train station in here. It's not very pretty, but it does work. We can copy this over to here. And I believe that should give us what we need. Here it's unloading here. It should come in here and start stacking. to flood the bottom floor. And that is not the right shape. What did we do wrong? We have to rotate one of these, I'm assuming. Yeah, they're both on the right hand side, so we need to rotate one of these. Let's just put a rotator in. I think 180 would do it. So that looks better. Let's run over here. Let's clear that out. Alright, while that shape's doing its thing, we can go ahead and do some tasks. Unlock all these. So this one we just gotta paint the circle green. So that's here, there's green paint here, so that'll be a piece of cake. Brought the paint over by train just to see how it works. Works pretty good, just like the other trains. And the next shape on this is more pins, followed by even more pins. So we can just put a pin pusher here and here as we complete the shape, so that'll be easy. It's all lined up, ready to go. Next up is this shape here. For this shape here, we can just use my previous design that was not working before. I think it'll work in this case. We can put the cutting down that cuts it in half. Since it's an identical shape, it should cut squares into 2 halves. They are all the same direction, So we can just throw, I think we have a swapper on this maybe. Let's try this one. Oh, there it is there. So that's good to go. Alright, the green circle is done already, so let's grab that. Go over there and throw another set of pins on there. So we should just be able to delete this. Put a pin pusher in there. And that should be good. Back over at the red shapes, you can see this design works nicely because these 2 belts only put out to this side here. So if you're not using this side, it doesn't pause the system. These 2 belts are using this, putting out to this other side. So even though this side is stalled out, this side still operates. So very nice. And we can go ahead and I think use this side for, we're gonna need some uncolored squares. Actually, we're gonna need some, we'll use it for the blue squares here. The uncolored squares, I don't think there's a way to unpaint something. So next up on this shape here is these 2 half circles, diagonal. So let's go up to the, looks like there's a shape right here. We could cut this in half or half destroy it and use these half circles to make a diagonal. There we go, there's our 2 half circles. And then we need the swapper. See if this needs rotated before it goes into the swapper. Oh, that looks good there. Grab a stacker. And then we can just grab a, I guess we'll just put it in up here, put a train stop in. Shape unloader in. It's going to be a little bit of spaghetti. For the next shape on this task list, we need 2 uncolored squares. I think what we'll do is just use this And then we'll grab these squares and paint these squares red instead. So we'll put these squares in here and we can just paint over the blue and make them red. And then we can just turn these into the diagonals, and that'll be uncolored squares, because this one will be a little bit hard to pick apart. So we are just about to finish the milestone shape. There we go. That is all done. So next up will be color mixing. So we'll look at that next episode. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching.